Hey, good evening, Speed Gaming Cinco. My Spanish is not very good. I am Rumblements. I'm joined here with Tracy M. here on another exciting Super Metroid multi-category tournament match. We've got Kipp versus Hero 82 running none other than reverse boss order. Tracy, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great. Two of my favorite runners playing against each other in one of my favorite categories. What could be better than that?
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm really happy that they actually agreed ahead of time to do RBO. Hero kind of requested it from. I think it's a category that Hero quite likes, and Kipp is a pretty big fan of it. Not as high as Low Ice on his list, I think, but I think quite honestly, I think Kipp a less strategic choice and more an entertainment choice for him. He thinks this will be a lot more fun, so that's what he decided to do. I think that's
To
great.
be fair, his PB is quite a bit better than Hero's. Kip with a 104.03, Hero with a 117.49. But this is RBO. It's a very volatile category. These two did match up in a best of three during the RBO tournament last summer, and Hero did take one of those games off of Kip. So this is by no means guaranteed for either of these runners.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Kipp is clearly a favorite in all three categories. Likely, nothing against Hero 82. Kipp is just one of the higher seeded runners for everything. But choosing to run a more volatile category for entertainment purposes, that's what I like to see in our runners.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this is a really important matchup. It is a 3-1 bracket matchup. What that means is the winner is going to be guaranteed at least a spot in the play-in race because they're going to have they'll have 4 wins. So 4-2 would be the worst possible record. The loser is going to be 3-2 and will have to win their last match next week just to get into the play-in. So a lot of ramifications coming out of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't we talk a little bit about what RBO is, why it's so volatile, what it means. Reverse boss order is sort of reverse intended by the game boss order. The game kind of guides you along, wanting you to kill Kraid first, pick up Varia to get heat protection, and then pick up a lot of movement items. Go to wreck ship, kill Fantoon to get gravity, and then go underwater, kill Dragon and get space jump and plasma, so that you can do a very, very comfortable Lower Norfair. Instead, we're going to do a very, very uncomfortable Lower Norfair without any heat protection, without any very strong beams. They'll have Spazer, Wave, and Ice, but that's not that strong compared to plasma. And they'll be taking damage the entire time they're in Lower Norfair. Well, most of the time they're in Lower Norfair, including while they're fighting one of the tougher bosses in the game, Ridley. So a very tense category. A lot can go wrong, and even after Ridley, there's going to be a lot of spots where one wrong piece of movement can end your run or force you to reset.
Yeah, and things don't end after you're done with Lower Norfair because, of course, you have to go into kill Dragon, and you have to do that without Gravity Suit, which means a lot slower movement. The actual methods they'll use to kill Dragon and then to get out of that room are fairly precise and very easy to mess up. So, Dragon, really, you're not home free. Well, I wouldn't say you're ever home free in this category, but you're mostly home free once you leave Meridian and you go into the Fantoon fight. But there are things that can go wrong after that, as we've seen a couple of runs die late in this category.
Yeah, you could also forget to kill Kraid. Shoutouts to Feral.
Yeah, that is a thing that could happen.
One of the things I really like about reverse boss order, that even given what I just said about how hard and volatile it can be, is there's actually a lot of safeties that a runner can get. So it's actually, of the kind of challenge categories where I put low percent and RBO in those challenge categories, it's actually more approachable than low percent ice, for instance, because if you really want to take your time, you can get a lot of E-tanks before Lower Norfair. You can get a lot of safeties, extra reserves, and really take your time and finish it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
there
don't think
are Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think either one of these two will do it, but you'll see a lot of runners will do an extra dip into Meridia to get some of those extra safeties. And it's not even just the E-tanks. It's getting the extra super missiles. It's getting maybe an extra power bomb or two so that you can crystal flash a little bit more. Also, make your Ridley fight, if you can come in with as many as 35 super missiles. That way, after your crystal flash, you're at 25. You don't have to farm up very far to have enough super missiles to kill Ridley outright.
Yeah, having the difference in Ridley between having even 30 supers and 20 is pretty significant. 25 even, that's that's 3,000 damage that you have to do. There's no faster way to do it than supers. So if you're using charged phaser shots or X factors or regular missiles, that's longer that you are hanging out in that heated room with a giant tail whip and Ridley. We see Hero 82 here heading over to Task Tank and missiles. He actually went up and activated the planet, which you have to do in order for these enemies to be here in order to grab this E-Tank. I really like this play from here. It'll make his first hell runs in Lower Norfair, a lot safer.
Oh, absolutely. You can get a couple extra tanks this way. He could also choose to, and I'm going to guess he's not going to since he is getting this tank. Another option would be to go to Gauntlet and get that energy tank early. That's a rough one to get because you don't have power bombs. You only have regular bombs. But I agree with you. I like this one. I like this one a little bit better. You may have seen Zenny go for that tank. We call it Task Tank because only Zenny and Task and maybe one or two other people have actually gotten that tank without activating the planet or having some sort of extra item like high jump or ice.
Yeah, there is a frame perfect. I'm probably going to explain this terribly. Somebody who's smarter in chat will correct me. There's a frame perfect CWJ that you can do off of that wall. Like it's like a wall CWJ, a wall WJ. I don't know. And then even when you do that, you have like a 50-50 chance of having the right subpixel value of being able to grab the tank on that jump. Nobody's crazy enough to do it except Zenny, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I believe there's one or two of Zenny's followers that have done it in practice, but I don't think I've never seen it done in a run besides Zenny. And of course, he is Mr. RBO, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the first half hour, 40 minutes or so of this is actually going to be just a lot of item collection. We need to get quite a few energy tanks, quite a few supers, quite a few missiles, enough power bombs so that we can crystal flash and still have enough to get through the doors before we head down to Lower Norfair. So they'll be, at minimum, doing a loop down through Upper Norfair, grabbing some of those items, and then coming back to Brinstar, loading up on E-tanks and power bombs before heading down to Lower Norfair.
Yeah, I mean, there is the option of doing the Moon Dance as another Zenny strat. I don't think either one of these two does that, so don't expect to see that. What that allows you to do is get even earlier power bombs than usual, even earlier than going up Red Tower instead of going down towards Kraid. And I don't even think Zenny would do that in an actual race situation. At least he didn't last summer during the RBO tournament. Oh, and nice reverse mock ball out of the early supers by Kipp.
Yeah, I love that. I love every mock. Every mock ball in this game feels so good when you
mock
hit it.
Balls are just the best strat. I don't care whether they were intended or not. They're too cool to ever call them a glitch. They're just the coolest movement tech we have, in my opinion.
Could a fourth or fifth person copy that copy pasta, please? I appreciate that. Just make sure everybody got it. So Kipp will be doing his first hell run with 2 energy tanks and a reserve. It's comfortable-ish. You certainly can't make many mistakes. But you don't have to be hitting frame perfect jumps or not slowing down at all. You do have, I wouldn't say you have breathing room, but you have gasping room.
Gasping. I like that. Yeah, 2 energy tanks in reserve is about as low as you want to go. 2 energy tanks typically isn't going to work unless you get some really lucky drops on your way. So yeah, Hero's going to be 3 energy tanks in a reserve, so that's a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, and grabbing that energy tank early, compared to optimally, is going to cost Hero about a minute, if I remember right, versus grabbing it later. Just having to go back down the elevator, go grab it, and go back up takes about a minute.
Yep, and Kipp is going to go get some early power bombs by going up red tower.
It's possible that Kipp is going to do single Norfair visit too if he grabs these power bombs and loops through Brinstar.
He could
and
do that.
Is skipping that means he'd be skipping Waterway tank,
For
which
sure.
is. I would be surprised to see him do that in a race, so we'll see where he's going. It'd be bold. It'd be entertaining. I'll say that. All right. No, he's heading back down.
Just wanted the one pack. Okay.
I guess technically he could still head back through Green Brinstar, but it would be a really weird choice to route it that way. He also wouldn't be able to get the supers in Criteria, which, you know,
yeah.
I am not as good of an RBO runner as Kipp, so maybe that's a cool thing to do. Is he listening to the restream? Was he faking me out there being like, I'm going to open this door just to throw Rumblemans out?
Maybe. Let's see. Okay, we are going to pick up the Spacer Beam here. I have seen runners that choose not to get this. Not very often. Definitely want to have that extra beam power since we're not going to get Plasma until way late. It's not going to help us out for the Ridley fight.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you're going to, the runners will be picking up Plasma later. And if you are going to be doing a lot of X factors on Ridley or maybe grabbing 30 power bombs, then Spazer might not add that much to your route. It's reasonable to skip it at that point. It does slow down the GT fight if you end up using charge shots, but generally you'll be using supers for that as well.
And it looks like Hero's also going to go ahead and get those early power bombs.
And he's going to take the time here to refill his reserve for that hell run that he will be doing later. Yeah, 30 PBs on Ridley would help, but probably not be very fast. If I said PBs, I meant supers.
Okay, going to pick up this E-Tank here. It's going to be that second E-Tank to give Kipp 2 in the reserve. Also going to pick up the all-important high jump boots. Definitely don't want to be going down to Lower Norfair without those.
Yeah, that would certainly make RBO a lot harder if you had to skip high jump boots. Even this first hell run would actually be a lot harder because it would mean you have to bomb jump up to the door.
I was say I'm not sure that'd even be doable with this energy tank amount. That's actually a really good question if that would work or not.
I feel like this is the energy tank amount you have in Super Metroid Impossible, and it's essentially the same hell run. So I think it is, but you don't have a lot of room for error.
No, you really don't. And Kipp gonna head into this first hell run. He did take a safety save. You're gonna see a lot of safety saves here.
He also did something interesting there. He killed those Novas, and I think he waited just a split second to check for drops. And the fact that he didn't get any drops because he was full on missiles means that he knows his reserve tank is full, which is good information to have.
And this is the scariest room of this hell run, is this little rising tide room. You'll notice Kipp's going to go ahead and pop his reserve manually, and you do that because your iframes are not going when your reserve tank fills up. You don't get the full refill if your reserve tank goes off manually, and you'll lose a lot more energy.
Yeah, very nicely done by Kipp. Got through there with plenty of health. Very comfortable. We'll be able to get up to this bug farming spot here and fill his energy back up before heading to Speed Booster. I say comfortably, and went down to like 7 health there, but that's 6 more than he needs. So
yeah, exactly. He's fine.
Hero 82 also going to take that safety save. I think I would expect most of our RBO runners this week to be taking that safety save.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how good you are at this category or at Super Metroid in general, things can happen. Looks like Hero's going to pick up Ice Beam early, too, so I wonder if he's going to go to Croc early. Because that could be a reason to pick up those... Oh, he can't, because he doesn't have Speed Booster yet, so never mind.
I mean, he could, but it would be a weird...
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know why he would.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at picking up the ice beam early here because it
Well,
just kind of gets in the way of your farming. He's gonna want to turn it off, I think.
well, the nice part about picking it up here is that he'll be getting the high jump energy tank for the refill,
True.
and uh, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why to pick it up this early in the run rather than getting it on the way out. You could get it on the way out of of Upper Norfair, right, where
Yeah.
health is less of a concern because there's not as much threat once you're out of Norfair. You can get through pretty much everything. But he may have ideas for ways to use ice on the way there, so we'll wait and see. Kipp has his speed booster and is now going to make a second little mini hell run here to go get wave beam. Health for this run is also pretty tight. I would expect, I think in a perfect world, you don't have to pop your reserves, but that rarely happens. I would expect him to use his reserves to get out of here as well.
Yeah, this is a deceptively hard room, just in general. Just all the movement, the wall jumps you have to do here, trying not to hit the spikes at the wrong time. It's not neat. A lot of people call this the real worst room in the game, as opposed to the one we'll see later.
Yeah, I actually I hate this room as much as any other room. Yeah, and there he goes using some manual refill before
Yeah.
he goes back into
And
the
I
heated room.
really like that he uses it before he goes back into the heated area, because even when you do it manually, you are going to lose a little bit of extra energy compared to doing it manually in a non-heated room.
Yep.
And also notice that every time he does use the reserve tank manually, he does set it back to auto. As Ponk was told me, rule number 1 of RBO is have your reserve tanks on auto at all times, except obviously when you're popping them. But
Hero having a very nice clean hell run here through these rooms. Dodging those fire bats. Those are the enemies that you worry about in this room. The rest of them don't do too much damage, but those fire bats will do quite a bit. And he makes it through without even needing to pop his reserves.
yep,
So
that's the
technically,
benefit. Yeah, the benefit of getting that extra E-tank showing itself there.
yeah, he could have skipped that E-tank. Technically, he didn't need that extra 100 health, but it does mean he doesn't have to refill it at least.
Okay, Hero making sure he's got enough health to go up into that farm area. He probably had enough before this, but this just makes it a little bit safer.
Yeah, it also means he won't pop his reserves, which is pretty nice. Or he's going to use them now.
Yeah, and you see how he turned off that ice beam. That's kind of why I'm a little curious why he picked up the ice beam early.
Yeah, although I guess if his route has him like kind of always using his reserves there, then it doesn't cost any extra time to just switch off ice there. So
that's a good point.
Don't mind.
Okay, so Kipp's heading back into Brinstar to do a bit of cleanup, pick up some more energy tanks, more supers, more power bombs. If you don't go to Meridia, I believe you end up with 15 supers after you do GT. So, and really, in that situation, you're going to do GT specifically for those supers. If you go into Meridia, I know Maniacal has adapted the, I'm going to get every other super I can get and skip GT, so I have 30 for the Ridley fight. But I don't think, like I said, these two are not going to be going into Meridia, I don't think.
Yeah, Kipp for sure will not be doing early Meridia. I don't know if Hero does it or not.
Okay, Kipp gonna pick up the waterway E-tank. I always like that ledge there above. It is the exact length you need to do a full Shine Spark without doing any kind of short charging, which is actually really difficult to do because it is the exact length. You would have to charge your spark at the very end. The reason why I like it, though, it's a really good place if you're not good at short charging. If you're just learning it, it's a really good place to learn it because you know that you got the short charge because you'll have extra room to actually get that Shine Spark off. Okay, Hero gonna head over to Wave Beam. Kipp gonna get the backdoor super missile from Spore Spawn. Now you can There's several places you can set up to take that shot. You know you've got the shot when the entire screen shakes. That's how you know that the super missile actually hit the right spot. Yeah, to answer the question in chat, yeah, most RBO routes get the GT supers. It's actually, so far I think Maniacal's the only one I've seen that's run RBO that has not picked up the GT supers.
It's sort of an interesting thing when you start running RBO. Generally, you'll get all the Meridia supers and GT supers, and then I think the next things that you kind of cut, actually, if I was going to cut, I'd actually do Maniacal's route, where I'm still going to Meridia because I'm going to want those E-tanks.
Yep.
I'm going to want that other stuff, but then at that point, you don't need 35 supers for Ridley. So you cut the GT fight completely, which actually saves quite a bit of time. And then when you get really good again, you cut out the early Meridia visit, and instead you're like, well, now I need those GT supers to be comfortable at Ridley.
Yeah, the other thing about the GT fight when you're first starting out is you're probably picking up extra missile packs, and as soon as you're picking up those extra missile packs, you're going to be dealing with GT's extra attack, where not just the little balls that you can farm off of, but you also have those little crescent beams that are just really annoying, and fighting GT with that just makes it that much harder. So you kind of want to be below 30 missiles total.
35.
I thought it was like 32, like was the exact number you had to have in your inventory, something like that. I'm sure someone in chat can give us the right number, but if you're at 30 or lower, you're going to be good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 35, and so I think getting more than 32 is the exact number. Okay, well, yeah. So getting more than 6 missile packs is something you do in RBO once, and then you realize you never need more than 30 missiles. And so you just you stop getting them, and you never really miss those extra 10 missiles if you were getting 40 before or whatever. You're right; it does make that fight much harder. Or you have to sit there for 5 minutes shooting off your 140 missiles that you picked before heading to Lower Norfair.
All right, Kipp's got himself 5 E-tanks. I suspect he'll pick up. Let's see, he'll probably pick up the Blueprint Star E-tank. He's going to do Croc, so that'll be a 7th E-tank, and I don't know if he goes for an 8th. It may just be those are the ones he's getting. Or maybe he's heading up to Gauntlet. He might be getting that one as well.
Well, he's definitely going to pick up the Criteria Supers on the way down to the ceiling. I don't know if he's going to grab the Gauntlet one or not.
Yeah, I mean, RBO just has so many different routes when you start. Like, there's so many different ways you can do this. You know, Zenny's really optimized the route that he uses for the world record route, so to speak. But a lot of these other routes, you know, just come down to personal preference, I think. Hero picking up his Waterway E-tank.
Kipp is heading down here, so it doesn't look like Gauntlet E-tank is in his future.
Yeah, that one's pretty slow with this item set, so I'm not really surprised he's skipping it. And like we said earlier, in a lot of ways, it's the ammo that matters, because you get the supers for Ridley plus the ammo for just crystal flashes in general.
Oh, Kipp, look out!
This is okay. That's actually pretty dangerous, because that acid will get you really quickly if you're not careful. What he's going to need to do is jump over those guys in the Shine Spark charge, and then actually jump after he gets past them. So he doesn't have Ice Beam to do the intended strat there to get those supers. And he'll take some damage from the spikes to get out, since he doesn't have Grapple Beam. But he only gets hit twice, so he's fine. Not really a problem. Kipp moonfalling down. I'm still not quite used to Kipp using Moonfall. He was one of the last holdouts.
We still have Sloaters, so we're good. Us appropriate gravity constant people. Yeah, you can super and power bomb them. I think it takes 3 power bombs to kill those. Are they Poyos? Is that what Poyo is?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Or they're the Booyons. I can never keep any of those straight.
Booyons? I'm bad. I need flashcards for Super Metroid rooms and enemies.
Yep.
Frankly.
Okay, Kipp did get the Retro Bryn E-Tank, so pretty well on his route. Probably saved a little bit of time in comparison.
Yep, and then he will pick up Croc E-Tank, and I think that'll probably be the last E-Tank that he picks up before heading to Lower Norfair.
Yeah, 7's a pretty good amount, like we said. I mean, if you get all the Meridia tanks, I believe it ends up being you can have, like, what is it, 12? No, not 12. It's like 9 or 10 by the time you get through all of them.
There's 3 that you can't get. You can't get Ridley, Firefly, or Wreck Ship. Right? I think you can get all of them.
Ridley, Crate, or Wreck Ship. You get Firefly.
Well, you get Firefly after.
Yeah, you get Firefly after you go into Lower Norfair, right? But for the Ridley fight, you'd have it.
So there's 4 that you can't get before you head down.
So that would be 10. Not likely going to see too many. Well, we're not getting the ones in Meridia for these 2 runners. A lot of runners. I think the first one you lose is the Botsoon one. That's the most out of the way, I'd say.
Yeah. Plus the let's not forget the reserves that you can get. Right. There's 2 easy reserves to get if you really want them. And I guess technically you could get the sandpit one if you really wanted to.
No. There's a reason why Randomizer League took that out of logic for Suitless. So yeah, I don't know too many people that are going to get that E-Tank.
Kipp's going to pick up his Ice Beam now and then head down to Croc, pick up Grapple Beam. I think of the 2 items that you get at Croc for RBO, Grapple Beam's probably the more important of the 2 compared to E-Tank. That's going to allow us to get through Meridia. It's also going to be a fantastic farming beam that we use throughout Lower Norfair.
I mean, let's be honest. It might be if you're just going there for the E-Tank, you might as well just do Gauntlet and get that E-Tank instead. No, it's the Grapple Beam that they really want.
I only comment on Kipp's blockbusters when he misses them.
All right, now Kipp going into one of the more trolley rooms for a casual player with all those crumble blocks and a missile even in there.
Oh, he's skating. Nice. Oh, no, he's not skating.
Oh, Hero had the spark all set up and then didn't quite hold on to it. Interesting, he could use his Ice Beam here since he did decide to pick it up. This would be a place where it actually would help him. And then he goes for a Power Bomb and then decides to go for the jump over them again. So let's see what he decides to do. Meanwhile, Kipp in his Croc fight.
Yeah, he doesn't want to lose the time equipping Ice.
Okay, there he goes.
You got it. Croc's dead. I'm sorry, Croc. You didn't do anything wrong. Croc is the puppy of Super Metroid. I'm standing by that. He's adorable.
And Kipp going for it and getting the wraparound shot. That'll make getting these power bombs a little bit easier. He'll be able to shine spark through the door here and go directly over to there without having to pick up grapple beam or doing a. You don't need grapple beam to do it. You can actually run and jump with just speed booster and high jump and get up there just fine. But this will save him a bit of time. And that should be his last power bomb pickup, I believe.
Yeah, unless he, for some reason, decides to get PB's a shame on the way down.
Yeah, that usually happens when you mess up somewhere, so hopefully for his sake, he doesn't have to pick them up.
Yeah, you'd have to mess up in a really weird way in RBO to need the PBs of shame to. PBs of necessity. PBs of shameful necessity, hockey.
Yeah, they're only the PBs of necessity in Hundo because you have to pick them up. Okay, Kipp getting his grapple beam, and he'll make his way out of the croc area and back towards, go towards Lower Norfair, and that's where the real hell runs begin.
Oh, that beautiful best mock ball in the game. I love it.
I love all mock balls. They're just... Well, we talked about it earlier, but it's just my favorite movement tech. I just wish I was better at it.
I expect Kipp will refill here and then probably save before heading down. This will be the last big save before the lava dive. And
Okay,
looks like
Hero.
is
Yeah,
going to Meridia.
He is going to do an extra Meridia dip. Very nice entry. That was really
very nice entry.
And that's why you want to don't want to break the tube early. You want to do it when you're going in. Unfortunately for Hero, when he comes back here, he will have to do this. It'll be a little bit more difficult to get in. Certainly something he'll be able to handle.
Yeah, if nothing else, it'll be slower. Oh, dude, that wall jump! Oh, almost had it.
Yeah, I think the fish just didn't stay frozen long enough. But fortunately, that fish is on a bit of a universal timer, so the longer you take, the lower it'll be each time. Okay, he's fine now. And Kipp gonna make his way to his lava dive.
Ooh, look out for that flame.
Yeah, I was looking for the bounce ball side. I didn't quite get that, so let's see. Okay, he's fine. And we'll see if he'll probably take a safety save here, I think.
Yeah, I would imagine. It's unfortunate that he doesn't have about, I don't know, 6 more health. If you can get on the elevator, your reserves won't trigger till you get to the bottom, and it's perfectly safe. You'll never... Oh, he made it! With 1 health extra. 2 health extra. So you see his reserves don't trigger on this whole down. If you had extra health, it would be ticking down, but it won't kill you. And the reserves trigger at the end, which gives you time to Crystal Flash.
You will have to Crystal Flash right away. And there it is. And Crystal Flash is done with, you need to have 10 missiles, 10 super missiles, and 11 power bombs, since you actually have to lay a power bomb to actually set off the Crystal Flash. And it will refill all your health, all your reserve tanks. You do have to have empty reserves. You do have to have less than 50 health. So in a heated area, the latest I would start one off is at about 60. You can wait a little bit longer, but that gets a little dicey.
Yeah, you can technically do it with 10 power bombs if you kill an enemy and land on a power bomb drop.
But be honest, have you actually ever seen someone successfully do that? I mean, yeah in theory.
Yeah, who do you think I've seen do it? Like, who would be your guess that would do that?
Cross product.
Yep, there you go. Super nice backwards green gate get for Kipp there. And Hero looks like he's going to pick up that... he picked up that Mama Turtle E-Tank and the Crab Supers and is going to head out of Meridia. So he's doing the short Meridia version where you just get those 2 items and head out. There's another E-Tank and another Super that you could get if you really wanted to. But don't blame him for doing a short one.
Or if you're cross product, you actually can get the Aqueduct Supers by doing a Crystal Flash Elevator blue suit. But I think he's the only person I've ever seen do that, so we're not going to expect anyone else. Looks like Hero's going to head over towards Crocomire now. Meanwhile, Kipp in that very nice sweet spot fighting GT. Finishes GT off.
Yeah, and you saw him actually. I'm gonna say this was very intentional. Uh, he got GT one charge shot away, and then farmed some drops, and then killed him so that he had better supers coming out of that, which is going to
Yep.
save him some time.
Yeah, I think that's a really smart move. You'll see he's also turning off. If you menu right as you go to that energy refill, you save a little bit of time. And he went ahead and turned off Spazer and Ice Beam, so it means he's going to start off with some X Factors when he gets to Ridley. I did farm some more supers in this area here. It's one of the best places to farm supers, but he's going to keep going from here. Going to farm a couple power bombs as well. Hero picking up his Croc E-Tank, so he'll have one extra E-Tank to work with when he goes down to Lower Norfair. And beautiful worst room in the game by Kipp.
Yeah, Kipp being very deliberate here. He doesn't have a ton of leeway with only 7 E-Tanks in a reserve. He really wants to get to the Firefly E-Tank without his reserves getting triggered, though. That will allow him to make sure he has those reserves full all the way down through to the pre-Ridley room.
Yeah, and really nice amphitheater as well. That is an extremely dangerous room. If you get caught in that acid, it's not instant, but it may as well be. It's too much time death, I guess, because you have to wait it out. But
yeah, you notice Kipp there intentionally taking damage from the fire fleas. The spikes do a lot more damage than the fire fleas, and taking a spike hit can actually be. It's probably fine with his current E-Tank count, but in smaller equipment settings, it basically means you have to either farm a bunch of health or just reset.
Okay, Kipp gonna take one more safety save before he fights Ridley. Meanwhile, Hero's gonna get his grapple beam, so he'll be on his way to Lower Norfair. And this is where Hero could make up time if Kipp has trouble with his Ridley fight.
Yeah, or even the route down to Ridley. Wasteland could be problematic. Taking a hit from these grasshoppers here would be bad. Of course, you have screw attack, so as long as you don't lose a jump input, or if you like straight jumped instead of spin jumped, you should be fine with screw attack, but it does happen.
And nice speed booster strats on the Metal Pirates.
Yeah, his health is looking really good here going into this room. 335 with full reserve, so he should be feeling very comfortable.
Or as comfortable as anyone could feel during this category.
Sure.
So he's going to farm here for a little bit, get to full supers, do a crystal flash, then try and farm back up to full supers or as close to as he can before heading into the Ridley fight. There goes that last crystal flash.
Nicely timed so that the bugs come out right as he's finished with it.
Yeah, you'll notice how he didn't pick up those last two big health drops. As long as the health drops are still there, or any drops really, those bugs won't respawn. So timed it so that those would disappear right before he gets back to farming.
And this is one of those times where you're like, I want supers. And then you're like, oh, well, actually, a little bit of energy would be nice too while I farm supers. You got a power bomb drop for one of the fireflies.
You don't want those power bombs.
Yeah.
Okay, Hero into his lava dive. Landing one of those X Factors is the equivalent of 2 supers, each one of those particles doing 300 damage. Supers doing double damage, 600, so for a total of 1200 or 2 supers.
And Hero gonna Crystal Flash, or get down the Crystal Flash energy while he's in the heated room, and Crystal Flash here where it's safe. It's a good call, I think.
Yeah, with that extra E-Tank that he has, that should be fine.
Oh, and Kipp taking some Ridley hits. I think that's
not great.
I don't know if. No, with his reserves popping, he can't live.
Nope.
Yeah, there's the reset.
He'll try again.
I would say this part is more hair raising than low percent ice. Low percent ice is more like a steady, slow burn. Yep. This is sheer moments of terror.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Okay, here we're having a little bit of trouble with this green gate glitch. Okay, there, he's got it.
First try.
That's just one. I talk about that strat all the time. It's one of those strats that I don't care how good you are at it. Every once in a while, it just leaves you. Fortunately, it didn't leave Hero for very long. He did manage to execute it. He's gonna farm up some more supers before the GT fight. And with the energy refill right here, I really like this call on Hero's part.
Showing off that nice speed kill again.
Looks like Hero was about ready to leave and forgot you need that screw attack to do that strat to get out like that. I still assume he's gonna do the GT fight, but maybe he's gonna skip it.
You also want screw attack for, I don't know, the rest of Lord Norfair.
Pretty much. Okay, he's gonna go get those GT supers. Okay, Kipp getting his Crystal Flash. Hero trying to get into that sweet spot so he doesn't take damage from GT.
Oh, I missed what happened there, but he must have taken a hit from GT.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. But we've got the save at the top of the elevator.
Yeah, a hit from GT, like you can come back from, but it can be tough. And 2 hits is real tough. GT does a lot of damage, especially with no Varia, no gravity suit. He hits like a truck, and with your health constantly ticking down, any hit is going to be pretty tough to live through. Kipp with try number 2 on Ridley. Hopefully he doesn't miss these particles here.
That looks good. Oh, I think that super may have missed.
Oh, and a very nice tail from Ridley. Didn't swing his tail down. Still got his reserves. Had a ton of extra energy. He picked up one too many E-tanks.
Very, very nice Ridley fight from Kipp on the second try.
Yep. And this E-tank very nicely placed so that in RBO we can get a full health refill on our way out. It's almost like Deer Tier knew that this was possible, and they wanted to make sure like that health tank would make it a little bit easier than without the health tank.
So you're going to see Kipp farm up some more on his way out. He's going to want to have enough supers to do one more Crystal Flash, and this is the best place to get them. If he leaves this area or the next area without having the 10 supers, it's going to be hard-pressed to get another one.
Yeah, you can also kill the metal pirates. They generally drop supers, but if they don't, then you're in for a world of hurt.
Yeah, if they don't, and also it's just a little bit slower than just going for the supers there. Notice Kipp killing these enemies on his way out also picks up some extra supers, so he's really good on the next Crystal Flash. Hero, meanwhile, finishes up his GT fight, so he's looking like he's in good shape too. He'll pick up a refill and make his way out over towards Ridley. A nice speedball out of the wasteland area. And Kipp going to take another safety save.
Yeah, the save not nearly as detrimental as in some other categories. It resets all of the key hunter logic and makes it a little bit harder. But you have screw attack here, so you just jump through them and they die, so you're all right.
Yeah, I think screw attack is more important for these and of course the Three Musketeers key hunters than anywhere else. But certainly trying to do this without screw attack is just not just make things so much harder.
There is a crazy runner who tried to do RBO without screw attack, seeing if it'd be faster. I think they might be in chat. I thought I saw them earlier. They made it to Three Musketeers and died. And it turns out even with the theory testing or looking at it, it's not even that much faster, which is kind of sad for all that extra work you have to do without screw attack.
And Kipp almost done with his heated rooms. Just got to make his way out here. Looks really good health.
Sorry, Andrew. Oh, did I say Deer Tier? I meant Deer Force. Deer Force new.
Hero also having a very nice force room in the game. And Kipp basically done with his heated rooms. There's one more little heated room here on his way out, but that one barely counts.
Did somebody skip grapple to do RBO? Was that you, Cutie? Why?
He's trying to do something different.
Oh, it was in a task. Okay. I didn't think so, but I don't know. It sounds interesting. Kipp gonna farm up these bugs. Does need crystal flash ammo as well as just ammo for bot wound for Meridia.
Yeah, you'd think with that being done with heated rooms, he was done with crystal flashes. There is still one more very important crystal flash strat that he'll need to do in Meridia. So he's going to farm up the power bombs here in the Frog Speedway because they're basically 100%, near as 100% to drop power bombs. All right, here we're going to take his safety save before Ridley.
Yeah, nice health, nice ammo for this. Should be good getting down to Ridley.
And he's got an extra super pack and an extra energy tank on what Kipp had, so that'll help him out.
Yeah, he won't need to use any X factors if he doesn't want to. Won't need to do any charge shots. He can just unload all 30 supers. Now, Kipp entering Meridia for the first time. Hero did this like 20 minutes ago, so I assume Hero's like way ahead, right?
All right, Kipp also getting the very nice entry. I do love to see a nice, clean, suitless Meridia segment. And Kipp showing us how it's done.
Yeah, I think Suitless Meridia is like the most zen thing in Super Metroid. Like all your movements just feel calming, and the music is great. And then you have to do Dragon, and it sort of not as bad as Ridley. Actually, I think the room before Dragon, the room before the Precious Room, the Precious Room, the previous Precious Room, that's the worst.
That's a terrible one.
That's the worst room in Meridia for. Oh, he misses the grapple.
Okay. Well, he can still get back up. He'll have to do a little bit of grapple jumping, but that shouldn't be a problem for Kipp.
Also, grapple is only good in Suitless Meridia or for farming things. Like using it any other time is terrible, in my opinion.
I still have nightmares from playing this game the first time and grappling my way through Meridia because I couldn't wall jump.
I'm pretty sure this is the only intended use of grapple is Suitless Meridia and what Hero is doing. We're showing both intended uses of grapple right now.
But yeah, the Ridley fight, is very much it's a technical fight in the sense of being able to manipulate Ridley into those nice pogo patterns and just trying to do as fast as you can. The Dragon fight, I think, is a much more technical fight because we are going to have to do some extra things in it. We can't just kill her because we need a way to get out. And that's where that Crystal Flash is going to come in. We'll see that in a little bit. Kipp getting close to that part of the run.
All right. I admit that there may be some good grapple uses that I'm not aware of, but let's be clear that using it on grapple blocks outside of water or with gravity suit is not one of them.
I would agree to that. Okay, Hero having a good start to his Ridley fight. Looks like he fired most of his supers already. And already done.
Nicely done, Hero. 2 extra energy tanks and his reserves still full. Great job.
Okay, Kipp gonna turn off his high jump boots here. It's just gonna make traversing through this area a lot easier since you can't use bombs to move forward. We don't have Spring Ball. It would be really nice if we could have Spring Ball for this run, but Spring Ball is really hard to get with this item set. It is possible to do these mid-air morphs with high jump boots, but just so much more difficult. And Kipp gonna farm up here. And here also going to do make sure he only has 7 supers. I would have liked to see him farm up a little bit more. Maybe he's going to go ahead and just get some from the pirates here. Yeah, that should do it.
Hey, got 3 of them from the first pirate.
Exactly what he needed. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah. He probably heard me say it earlier and was like, I better show people that this is a reasonable thing to do. And I'm super glad he didn't get drop trolled there.
And this Coliseum room is actually it's not even just a difficult room in terms of grappling across. It's actually a deceptively dangerous room. Because if you get stuck in that sand, what you don't see in that sand are spikes. And they will kill you very quickly.
Hell, they'll kill you very slowly. You just won't be able to get out.
That's true. You're right. It will be a slow kill.
Yeah. And I have certainly lost many of my early RBO runs there. And Kipp making it look very easy and making me feel bad about myself.
Okay, you see Kipp taking extra damage here. That's in order to get himself down to Crystal Flash energy. I don't think Hero took the safety save coming out of Norfair. He hasn't done his Crystal Flash yet. Looks like he's going to damage himself down here to just do it before he goes back to the heated rooms. Yep.
And a nice safe way to do it too, because he knew the hit that would take him below 0 will trigger his reserve, so he'll be at 100, and then another hit takes him to 40, puts him right in that Crystal Flash range.
Okay, so Kipp's setting up for a Crystal Flash. What he wants to do is be grabbed by Dragon while he's in a Crystal Flash to set up a Spark Suit.
Yep, so he will just be rolling back and forth while he's laying power bombs here, waiting for Dragon to be gooping. Here he comes. Got it.
Yep. Gonna set up for the... Well, he can't quite get a quick kill anymore, but he's got enough health for this. As long as Dragon doesn't slash. I know, I was about to say, yeah. Okay, he's fine.
He's got plenty.
Yeah, because grapple kill will take out a lot more health without any suits than if you have, Varia and Gravity.
Yep. Now that he's got blue suit, he's not going to use that here. He will go grab space jump just to make escape a little bit easier. He'll actually use grapple and just bounce off the corner here, do some grapple jumps. As long as you are traveling up, okay, I'm going to mess this up and somebody will fix it, which is good. I've been saying a lot of wrong things tonight, but everybody in chat is fixing what I'm saying. As long as you are traveling up, then you can, when you unmorph, you can jump and then remorph, and as long as you're still traveling up, then you can remorph, jump, unmorph, jump. Kipp will demonstrate exactly what I just said right here. It's just going to bounce off the corner. Bounce. There you go. That's all I got to do. It's going to bounce a little bit more off the corner.
Yeah, fortunately for Kipp, if he runs out of health, yeah, he's just going to run out of health a little bit. No, he's going to do one more Crystal Flash.
Yeah. Now pressing down triggers the Shine Spark, but as long as you don't use it, you'll still have blue suit and it won't take it away.
Yeah, and that's really important because he's going to need it to get out of the next room. The other option in this category, you can get X-Ray if you want. X-Ray will allow you to do an X-Ray climb out of the next room, in which case you could either just do the grapple jump or do the Shine Spark out of this room.
That is definitely easier than reverse slinking, Poppy. Also, the second worst thing to have happen in your RBO run is bonking your head there on that spark. Makes you feel real bad.
That's a bad one. A hero doing another, showing us Suitless Murdy a third time, his second time, doing a good job. Unfortunately, froze that fish a little bit too far to the right, but he's still got, he can still do this, and like we said earlier, that fish will get a little bit lower every time through. Kipp, meanwhile, is going to head towards towards Plasma Beam, the all-important Plasma Beam.
Yeah, and this is also going to be the one time in the game where Forgotten Highway is actually the fast route. Coming from Plasma Beam, going to Wreck Shipped without gravity, Forgotten Highway turns out to be the fastest route. Turns out to be the remembered highway.
Yeah, Hero doing a nice job getting through the Mount Everest area, just grappling across.
It's not faster in map completion, though, Fuzda. You just have to do it.
You see Hero setting up a power bomb to get those snails out of the way so he can do his grapple jump up here a little bit easier.
I'm sure there's several meme categories where Forgotten Highway is also relevant, but I'm not going to mention those either. There's probably purple elevator % or something.
If there isn't, there will be now.
Yeah.
All right, Hero getting through, doing his mock. We didn't mention this on Kipp's side. Since we can't use Speed Booster in the water, we do have to do the ice clip through the Metroid. And we saw that just now on Hero's side.
Hero does need to be somewhat careful here with his health. Bot Wound will do an impressive amount of damage if he starts getting hit. And also make sure when it's dying, you don't go stand underneath it.
Yeah, that's definitely, it feels bad. But fortunately, he's got an energy tank coming up to give him a nice little refill. And Kipp making his way through the Morphball maze of the Forgotten Highway, and we'll head over towards his Fantoon fight on the wreck ship. Really good health for this. He's got a full beam combination. It only takes 3 shots with this beam combination, so he'll make very quick work of Fantoon.
Go for those pancakes.
And of course, wreck ship not active yet, so spiky room of death right here. Not exactly a hard room.
It's more like foot massage room in RBO.
There you go.
The fluffy room of fun. Nice. Hero making his way through Coliseum. Nicely done with those grapple jumps to make sure he makes it through there. Taking a little spike damage just to make sure he doesn't get anywhere close to that sand.
Yeah, did a very nice job through that room. And there's a Fantoon fight from Kipp.
Yeah, if you
Not
want
quite
an
as much
easy,
fun.
yeah, if you want an easy 2-round, just run RBO.
Yeah, not quite as fun as the microwave strats that you can do in like GT Classic. We also have the X-ray scope, but pretty darn close. Hero setting up for his Dragon fight. The one thing I'll note here on Hero's side is he's only got 17 power bombs. We'll see what kind of drops he gets. Kipp had enough ammo after the fight that he could do one more crystal flash just in case, if he needed it for health purposes, he get the grapple jump out. Hopefully, Hero will get those same kind of drops. Hopefully, it's okay. I was gonna say hopefully Dragon stops swooping at some point.
Yeah. The other thing is that often, because he interrupts your crystal flash, it doesn't actually eat the 10 ammo of each type that you have. So you see, he's still left with 13 power bombs,
Nice.
which is what he had, I think.
Oh, he had the quick grapple kill, and yeah, it didn't last. Okay. Well, he's just gonna have to do it again. And that'll
Yeah,
save
and
on health too.
He's what he's doing. He's doing a strategy because he doesn't have blue suit yet. Did he spark there? Might have missed it. Yeah, he forgot to activate the spark on the other one, which is why he let it go.
Gotcha.
I thought maybe he was doing. You can also just drain Dragon's health very low, and then kill Dragon with a spark and get blue suit, kind of the way you would get it in any percent. Although it's a little bit riskier because you have, of course, the possibility of chain damage. Kipp not doing the feral skip, deciding that he does indeed want to kill all 4 of the bosses.
And Hero in really good shape with both health and ammo. He has plenty of tries at the grapple without doing a crystal flash, and has the crystal flash in his pocket if he needs it. Also, you'll note the runners won't be ever picking up gravity suit in this run. That's way too far out of the way after you kill Phantoon. Sometimes you'll see runners pick up various suits. It's a little less out of the way. It's a bit of a nice safety, but not really needed. A lot of runners would just turn it off for the stand-up glitch anyway, so we'll see what Kipp decides to do.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is if the runners don't pick up Varia, they're certainly not going to go through bowling to pick up gravity.
No, definitely not getting gravity suit.
And Hero nicely not bonking his head on the way out. Yeah, very, very clean Meridia escape from Hero. We don't really usually call it a Meridia escape, but he's doing very well. And I think Kraid was there. I missed it.
Yeah.
Was he there?
Look, I looked away for like 1 second and I heard the sound that he was dead. So, yeah, there you go. You know, Kipp is kind of at that cozy part of the run. He's not completely out of danger. There are some, you know, you are doing, he did not grab that berry suit. You are doing Torian suitless. But he does have a ton of E-tanks, full beam combination, screw attack, lots of ammo, so he should be fine. And another nice mock ball getting out of Kraid's lair. That's one of my favorites.
I believe that's referred to as the mouth ball.
A mouth ball, yep.
Thank you, Melissa Bot, for responding to the exclamation point category command.
All right, Kipp gonna make his way through Brinstar. There are two ways you can get out of here. You're not gonna go the way that most like an any percent run does, because it goes through Meridia, and that would mean extra suitless. Your choices then are to go through Brinstar, through Green Brinstar into Pink Brinstar, or you can go up through Red Tower. My understanding is optimally Red Tower is a little bit faster, but as we often talk about, doing things optimally doesn't mean it's optimally for the particular runner. Kipp decided that he's better off going this way. He's got a bit of a lead here, and he knows it, I suspect, so he's going to go this way. And Hero going to make his way through the Forgotten Highway and go make his way towards Phantoon.
All right, Hero's coming up on the most important jump in his run. And I only know this because I was watching him practice before the race. And he was getting really mad when he missed this jump, so I hope he gets it. Oh, he got it!
Yay, nice.
Congratulations, Hero. Nicely done.
Kipp just gonna stand there contemplating his run and what he has to do as he waits through the G4 cutscene.
I really wish the crystals broke in the order that you killed the bosses.
It'd
be
do
such
too.
a great feature.
That
Where's
would be
Total?
really neat.
I'm sure Total could patch the game to do that. Oh, it looks like he was trying to get a short charge there too to spark through those rooms. That's actually kind of cool. I haven't seen many people do that.
All right, now on to the Metroid rooms.
Metroid room's pretty cozy, but you have to remember not to go in the lava because you don't have gravity, and you all of a sudden just start taking tons of damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we talk about, you know, when we talk about the difference between this and low percent ice, So the difference is, on the one hand, low percent ice, you have gravity suit, but on the other hand, low percent ice ammo is a huge concern. Not as much concern here. We have more base ammo to start with, so Kip's going to be fine with what he's got here. 2017, way more than you'd have in a typical any percent run. So he's looking really good on ammo. Hero, meanwhile, is into his Fantoon fight.
Yeah, Hero's having a fantastic run. Really clean. Very nice race. Making it look easy.
Kipp gonna go for baby skip. Nicely done.
And we got a dead elephant ghost on the right side. Roll Tide. I'm not actually an Alabama fan. I actually don't care about college football at all, but I think Kipp would appreciate that.
Yeah, well, Kipp is a Alabama fan, so
I know.
And it looks like Kipp's going to take one last safety save here. Again, he knows, I assume he knows that he's got a decent lead. He's probably going to go for a stand-up glitch. A lot of things can go wrong in the stand-up glitch. And, you know, just in general, you're still doing Mother Brain with no suits. So that's no easy task, so.
Yeah, ketchup beams can actually, like, triple hit. And he has to have 601 energy in order to survive Rainbow Beam, and as opposed to the 301. So if you got some unlucky ketchups or something weird happened, it's not unreasonable. Hero also remembering to go kill Kraid. I approve of that strategy. I think that's going to be a lot faster than not killing him.
Yeah, it tends to work out that way. Okay, we do have only the 20-shot fight here. We do have the full beam combo.
Back up, Mother Brain. And that'll probably be the only ketchup we see here. Taking a hit from the head, getting in that stand-up range.
You notice he doesn't have to damage himself down further. That's because he doesn't have gravity suit on.
What is this? I clearly was doing this on purpose.
I was gonna say, this is not good. Can he get out of this?
I think he can.
Like, I thought this is what you want an X-ray for, but we'll see. Okay, there we go.
He's technically still morphed. You're there.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And it's just changing the sprite. That's hilarious.
Yeah, Kipp is not the first person you think of when you're talking memes, so.
He only memes if it's also just as fast as not meming.
Yeah,
in that case, he didn't lose any time.
You're also making very quick work of Kraid.
And it looks like Hero's going to pick up Varia. Doesn't cost a lot of time and does add a lot of safety for the Mother Brain fight.
And a very nice stand-up by Kipp. What do you maybe 3 shots there?
Yeah, we'll say 3. There's no proof of how many it was, so people will have to take our word for it.
And just the escape left for Kipp.
Oh, Hero, hurry up! The planet's exploding. All right, that's a good point, Poppy.
All right, Kipp's gonna make his way to the ship, and we'll finish this up with an official SRL time of 1:14:26. GG to Kipp. And he says he will interview, but he's got to take his new puppy out first. So.
Oh, Samus is adorable.
Oh, yes, she really is. And we'll watch Hero finish out in the meantime.
Yeah, Hero, not very far behind. Just a Turian behind, as the new unit of measurement.
Yeah, I mean, he had a really nice run. The one hiccup at GT the first time down there. Other than that, very, very clean. He does run a slower route, so when both runners take the same number of deaths, as we saw here, that's about, you're not going to catch up. He really needed Kipp to make more mistakes, I would say.
Yeah, or like for Kipp to forget to kill Kraid twice.
Yeah, well, that would be a mistake,
Sure.
I'm not sure how you forget twice.
I mean, you go down there, you kill him, but then you die, and then you do it again, I guess.
Okay, I'll give you that. Alright, Hero gonna do his practice bomb jumps. Shout outs to French Lightning John, who likes to call this the horizontal bomb jump practice room. And Fruit Bat Salad pointing out this is the fastest RBO run of the tournament. I'm going to check those numbers real quick on the spreadsheet. We'll see.
You don't believe Fruit Bat Salad? You think he would lie?
I
believe him. I don't even need to validate his facts.
I want to see what the numbers are.
Going down the airtight elevator because none of the water gets into Turian from the elevator somehow. Oh, Hero, look out! Okay. Thank you, Papa Schmo. I've been working hard on my bubble impression. Hero looking very good on ammo. Not going to need to worry about anything here, as expected with the ammo count that you have in RBO. It's not generally a concern in Turian. I do all the things. Now the runners do all the things. I just say all the things that the runners are doing and make terrible jokes. Oh, not skipping it. Oh, he feels bad for destroying the San Teresa.
All right. So I got the info here. It is the looks like the fastest RBO run up to this point was Zos with a 1:18:20. So Kipp almost bettering that by almost 4 minutes. So very nicely done by Kipp. So you know what category he'll want to race Zost in if that comes up in.
I don't know what match Zost ran RBO in, but I have a feeling either he took safeties that he wouldn't take against Kipp.
Yeah, there is that. On the other hand, Kipp took extra safeties too. I would point
Absolutely.
out Kipp doing extra safeties too, so
And
certainly it'd be a race to watch.
I think Kipp would probably give up some of those safeties too to have in an RBO match against those. I think that would be an amazing match
really
to
would be.
watch. Hero not taking the safety save. Does have Varia, so he's quite a bit safer than Kipp. Also, I mean, he's already lost the race, so it's fine. Yeah, I think if Kipp had his choice, he would probably go low ice. I don't know what Zost would veto against Kipp. As we get into the final weeks and the bracket stage, the vetoing process is going to become really, really interesting. First of all, Tracy, you're an organizer, so you can tell me all the things I'm saying that's wrong. But the bracket round is the playoffs are best out of 3, right? And so there will be some low ice runs and some RBO runs.
For sure. So there's going to be 7 categories. All 7 categories are available during the playoffs. And what's going to happen is each runner is going to veto one category outright that won't get run. Each runner will choose a category that will get run for the first 2 games, and then game 3 will be chosen randomly out of the remaining 3 categories. So yeah, you're not going to be able to. You can dodge exactly 1 out of 7 categories.
Yeah. So, well, okay. Given that, I think I have an intuition as to what Zost's veto will be. So maybe low ice or RBO will be on the table.
Could happen.
And I think without Varia, you actually don't need to damage yourself down.
That's right.
Like, you can have a huge range of health without Varia or Gravity. So you see Hero just staying at 310, and Mother Brain is like, yeah, I'm good. Come destroy me. Oh, I believe we're in for a Samus surprise up on Kipp's soon.
He's working on it.
I don't know if he's playing like some sort of try to figure out what the picture is game with us, but I believe that's a doggo. And I heard a ding, so I'm guessing that means we are joined by Kipp. Hey, Kipp. Nicely done, GG. Congratulations on the race, and nice picture of Samus there on your stream.
Thank you. It was a bit of an adventure trying to get that picture on the screen. Sorry about that, but didn't expect it to go that way. But thank you for the GG. How are you guys
doing? Good, GG.
Doing very well. It was a fantastic race to commentate. Super clean runs by both you and Hero. You had one really unfortunate Ridley troll death that you got like triple hit and missed some particles, which I think ended up keeping you a little bit short from finishing that, but otherwise very clean. And Hero finishing up Mother Brain 3 right now after an excellent stand-up. Two or three hyper beam shots for him as well. Very clean run by Hero.
Yeah, the first Ridley fight was a bit of a disappointment. He did not do a few things that I wanted him to do, but then I also kind of reacted poorly. The missed particles, I'm not trying to get all technical or whatever, but just so people in the chat understand, the missed particles are actually like completely irrelevant. Like the fight, the way I had the fight set up with 25 supers is not really contingent on that at all. The primary problem was that he went into a swoop pattern earlier than I wanted to, and he did a quick swoop, and then that threw off all kinds of, the way Ridley responds to your movement is very complicated. So anyway, it didn't go my way. I'm a little disappointed. I played really well throughout several portions of this run, and then there were other portions where I played very poorly. But, I'm glad to win. Hero's a good RBO runner. I'm sure you guys talked about our history before in the RBO tournament. So I'm glad to win. Glad to move to 4-1, and I'm pretty confident that if I win next week, which is obviously not guaranteed, but if I win next week, I think I lock in the fifth seed for the tournament at worst.
Yep,
so.
yeah.
Or for the playoffs, so that'll be good.
It certainly guarantees you're into the playoffs and can avoid the play-in game. And at worst, you're in the play-in game, so you're guaranteed at least a shot at those playoffs, no matter what.
Yeah, that feels good. But I wish I could have, run a little bit faster time. I'm certainly capable of it, but at the same time, it's nice to win. And I appreciate Hero doing RBO because we wanted to put on a good show. I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, I will say this: you do have currently, if I'm reading the spreadsheet right, and a few people have looked at it as well, currently have the fastest RPO time in the tournament. So.
Yeah, and that's first of all, GG to Hero. I know he just finished a little bit ago, but yeah, that's cool. And I appreciate it. I wish it could have been faster. I don't think a 114 in RBO is going to last very long. It probably won't even last to the end of this week for being the top time. But I will say this: I plan to run a faster time before this tournament's over. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens or not.
Well, sure. I mean, there's a lot of categories that are going to be way faster than 114. Kipp.
That's true. That's true. Hey, man, if I ran a 114.25 in Hundo, I would be pumped.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
that would
absolutely.
be fun to watch.
Had some similar spots, but I did notice your blockbuster. I didn't comment on it.
Yeah, you know what? I wasn't listening to commentary, but as soon as I hit that, I was like, I bet you $1 million they didn't notice and didn't say anything about it. So when I go back and watch, if you guys didn't talk about it, I'm going to be real heartbroken about it.
I apologize in advance.
Sorry.
Did you at least comment on the one-round Botwin?
You fought
0 for 2. Oh my God. You guys, y'all are so disappointing.
We're terrible.
I'm just kidding. But it's probably hard to commentate an RBO match because there are many parts of it where, for example, like when I'm out of Lower Norfair, technically y'all should be watching Hero the entire time because all of Lower Norfair is exciting and dangerous. You know what I mean? So
sure,
I'm sure it's tough to commentate, but
you get to do it yourself next Saturday night, I believe. Are you on the call for Maniacal and Kishmo? So
I'm hoping that I'll still be able to do that. Everything looks okay at the moment. I won't get too deep on it, but I've got some stuff kind of going on that might keep me from a few commentaries or so. But anyway, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, obviously, Maniacal's a good friend, and him and Kish are both great players, and I think it'll be real exciting to watch an RBO match. Oh, by the way, hey Hero, GG, man, nice job.
Yeah, GG Hero.
Thanks, guys.
All right. You were about to say something, Kipp, or were you just waiting for Hero?
No, that's we'll go ahead and bring Hero in. I'll hang out until we're done with the full
awesome
interview. But I do appreciate Hero being a man of the people. I was kind of hoping that we would talk in advance about potentially doing RBO because I thought it would be exciting and fun and a good matchup. And Hero actually suggested it to me, and so when he did, I was like, "This is awesome!" So I appreciate it, man. That was really fun.
Well, you did your official vetoes, if those are really even matter. Was what is it? You vetoed GT Classic, and Hero was like anything with any %
Yeah, that was my even if Kipp didn't want to do advanced knowledge RBO, I was just gonna roll vetoing anything based with any % and hope that he went to veto GT Classic, and then we were like, yay, RBO.
Hero, I hate to break it to you though, because RBO technically is also any %.
A lot of the categories are any %.
Turns out.
It's true. Turns out. Imagine that. But yeah, Hero. So again, very nice run. You had the hiccup at GT the first time through. But you got your Ridley fight on the first try, which Kipp didn't do, so maybe that makes you the winner. I don't know.
I think Kipp finished first. I think that makes Kipp the winner.
But
I'll check. I'll get the rule book. Let me just bring up the rule book, and I'll let you know.
But I do have one question for you, Hero. So in your route, I don't know if I've seen someone do this before. You picked up ice in your first trip through Lower Norfair. For your first trip through Upper Norfair. Before you left, and I was wondering why. What was behind that decision?
So, well, obviously, I need it for early Meridia.
Sure.
But so I spent a lot of time with Zenny trying to theory craft this double Meridia route out, and having the early retro tank, the ceiling tank.
Mhm.
When you enter Norfair for the first time, you already have 2 tanks in a reserve,
Right.
and your tanks are full when you enter, and the high jump tank is sitting there waiting for you.
Mhm.
So if you grab ice right then you can then refill and then do all your hell runs. Whereas if you come out of the hell runs, you're most likely empty.
Mhm.
And picking up ice at the end, especially if you're doing late croc,
Mhm.
you're not going to have any energy to pick up ice at the end, so you'd have to farm.
Right, and I guess your other choice would be to go back into Norfair briefly before heading back into Meridia, and that's got to be slower.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it also works out really well for you. I actually really liked it because you're generally pausing probably a couple times during that sequence around Bubble Mountain and Wave Beam to manually empty your reserves anyway, often. And so taking that time there to turn it off if you didn't want it on is good timing there as well.
Yeah, in a PB run, I probably wouldn't turn off ice. I probably would just leave it on and deal with it.
Mhm.
But in a race, I was like, man, I don't want to bonk an enemy during a hell run or something like that and have
sure.
that be what ends my race.
Yeah, okay, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, here I really liked your route. You've obviously put a lot of thought into it. As you kind of look to improve on RBO, what is the next kind of change or routing change that you're looking to do? Are you looking at learning the task jump so you don't have to activate Brinstar, or maybe are you looking at cutting out Meridia? What are your thoughts on kind of the next step for the route?
The next step for me is just jumping right into single Meridia. I don't know exactly how I'm going to route it. I've like tinkered with some things about doing some really weird like Brinstar routing, and maybe even like coming up Red Tower and picking up Alpha Power Bombs early and then routing Gauntlet in to do like kind of like an early Brinstar cleanup before I go into the hell runs.
Mhm.
And then just dipping really quickly out to pick up like Waterway and stuff, so I don't have to go all the way back into Brinstar.
Mhm.
But I have to like time all that stuff out before I figure out exactly how I'm going to approach single Meridia. So that's the next jump.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I feel like RBO in general has the most route divergence of any of the categories we've done. I think like every runner seems to have their own little way of doing things, their own whatever extra safeties they're going to take and whatever order they're going to do things in.
Bro, why didn't you run single Norfair?
Yeah, I know, right? Single Norfair is the only way to speed run this category.
So boring.
Wow. Well,
yeah.
I think any percent probably has the most route options because it also includes all of RB.
Well, that's true.
It's true. Single Norfair is clearly a race viable route.
Well, I'll tell you this, it would be for Zinni, and I'm sure
it would be.
if Zos came back, he could probably make it work too in a race. But yeah, I think most people probably are aware that my race routes are different than my PB attempts from when I was doing my grind, and there's no way I would attempt that in a regular race, like no way. So yeah, it's just way too hard.
Kipp, I even remember when you and I had our best of 3. Our first race, the one that I stole, you changed tactics in the second and third race, if I recall. Like, I think you got an extra tank.
Yeah, the thing is I still ran double Norfair against you, and I still had a safety, but the first race went so badly with Ridley that I think in the second and third race, I just decided to grab Gauntlet too, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
And I could have done that here, but in my practice and whatnot, I felt fairly confident that I could get through it. And when the funny thing is when the Ridley fight goes decently, it's like not that bad. It's pretty comfortable. It's like I probably finished with a couple E-tanks worth of health with that extra safety. But then if it doesn't go badly, you die. So I don't know. It's just it's very volatile.
The Ridley fight is like, I feel there are there's probably like there's 3 ways it goes, right? It goes by so easily that people are like, wow, I should pick up RBO because the Ridley fight looks like a joke.
No, it doesn't.
Or it goes so horrifically wrong that you die before you ever even get close to killing him, or you get by the skin of your teeth, and he like does like a death grab right before you die.
I don't think
Yeah.
there's anything that looks easy about the Ridley fight in RBO, to be fair, but that's just me.
Well, I've said this before. I want to say this officially on stream because I don't think I've commentated an RBO match yet. But for all you would-be RBO runners out there, if you're considering doing it, you need to practice Ridley. But the most important room to practice in this entire run when you're first getting started is the room before Ridley.
Yes.
Practice the
For sure.
farm room. I'm not exaggerating, you will lose more runs in that room, either legitimately in the room or
Mhm.
against Ridley due to the room, than
Yep.
you probably will to Ridley. So it's very important.
I think that's a
Yeah.
very fair statement.
Even if you get through the room, a lot of times you'll enter Ridley's room with like 450 health, and you're like, okay, what do I do now?
You reset.
Pretty
That's
much.
Yeah, pretty
Hey,
much.
also real quick, another word to you would-be RBO runners. The second that you're like, well, I think I'm going to Crystal Flash for a second time, and Ridley's farm room, just reset.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Everybody who's ever done it, it's like, well, I'll just Crystal Flash again. It'll be okay. No, it's never okay. You're going to end up being in there for 5 minutes, and you're still not going to be able to kill Ridley. So just take my word for it. Do one Crystal Flash. If it doesn't work, reset.
Words of wisdom from Kipp, and he is one of the best in the business. So I definitely listen to what he says. So.
But hey, before I go, I just want to say again, thanks GG to Hero, and good luck Hero next week. I hope you have a great match and put yourself in a position to be in the play-in race. You've had a great tournament, and Rumble and Tracy, thank y'all for commentating. It was a lot of fun tonight, and I look forward to watching the rest of the matches this week. So I will see you guys later on.
You're very welcome, Kipp.
very welcome. GG,
Thanks,
Kipp.
Kipp, and
GG.
Kipp, put some low ice out there into the cosmos for me for next week.
I will try,
Yeah.
man. I will try.
But I will ask this before you leave, Hero. So you are 3-2. So that means next week you're going to be going in needing to win that fourth match to get into the play-in. How do you feel about your chances moving on?
I mean, I feel pretty good. I honestly feel I want to have a really fun last match, and that's more important to me than winning. And I want to put on a good show for people that are watching.
And I know you really want to run low.
I really do. And if I match up against somebody who's better than me, like let's say next week, like Woody or Nintoaster are at 3-2. Those guys are both better than me at low ice, but I know they would be like, yeah, dude, let's run low ice. Like I know it. And that would be awesome, and I would love that.
Oh, that'd be fun to watch.
Yeah. So let's do it. Everybody, all the 3-2s out there, let's do it. Low ice.
Well, we could just make the play-in. I guess that you have to win to get to the play-in. I was going to say, make the play-in low ice. We'll make the play-in low percent RBO ice.
Ooh.
Any percent triple
That sounds
bingo.
horrible.
GT code. You
Yeah.
just have to do them all.
How do you do low percent with GT code?
No,
You can only get the items you'd get in 100% GT code. You can only get 14 of them total.
So it's low ice. You have to fight Ridley in RBO conditions with no suit, but you get to go into the practice ROM and give yourself like 25 tanks and fight him with low ice.
No. Okay, here's what you do. You do low ice. You have to kill all the bosses with low ice loadout, but then you run to GT room and do the GT code. And then you unequip everything from Mother Brain.
Okay, I like it.
Okay.
And you have to do it in RBO. You have to kill Ridley first.
This sounds like a category extensions.
That sounds like a really horrible category extension. Yeah, I don't think that'd be physically possible. No suits and 200 shots. But hey, Rumble, why don't you try and do it?
I bet Matrick could do it. I feel like
He's probably tried.
I know Edu has done low percent RBO at like 24% or something, 25%, something like that.
I know Zenny's been working on a low percent RBO as well, so
Yeah, Zenny's been doing like low percent RBO, like with major glitches, I believe.
Hmm.
I think, or maybe it's just been using G mode, which I don't understand.
Well, yeah. Well, the funny thing about Super Metroid is there are a lot of glitches that we don't consider major glitches and don't ban because they're just slower anyway. So
Yeah. All right. Well, Hero GG, Kipp GG, Tracy, thank you for joining me on commentary. This has been a lot of fun.
always fun.
I am going to log off and let you close it down.
All right, I was gonna let you close it down because you've got the even. If people like mine, yours is better. So
Mine's better. All right.
Yours is better. Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for watching. Please continue to check out the multi-category tournament. There are, I think, about 76 matches tomorrow, so there's probably going to be Super Metroid on at all hours of the day. Just check it out. Remember to be good to each other and always attempt and do your best to be the person that your dog thinks you are. Kipp, that means you have to be the person Samus thinks you are. I know you can do it. Thank you all, and I will see you later.